I'm on Twitter, 11:30, 12 o'clock, midnight, maybe even 1 o'clock. I see Jalen Ramsey quote tweet us. Had Dr. Chow on. Dr. Chow says, look, I've been in the league 17 years, blah, 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 blah. Here's how I feel. This is what I think. My professional recommendation. He gets in his feelings and he's like, yo, you know, I just let a few things slide, but y'all just talking just to hear yourselves talk. Y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. So, you know, in that situation, like, what did we do wrong there? Like, what did Dr. Chow say wrong? You know what I'm saying? What did I say something? Did you say something, Corey? Like, what happened?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think whenever you're in Brandon, you know, and Corey, you know, I don't know if you've ever had you had a major injury. What am I talking about? Like,
going through one right now.
obviously you weren't playing when it happened, but I think whenever you start to talk about injuries and you talk about someone's ability to play the game that they love and to compete. And when we talk about Jalen Ramsey, you're talking about the ultimate competitor. He eats, sleeps, breathes football. He goes out there and he competes. I think that you already are dealing with that of not being in a position to go out there and compete until your body is ready to heal.
Right.
And I think you are in a space, and Brandon, you know, you've had injuries where you are trying to mentally prepare yourself for the journey and mentally prepare yourself to be back quicker than what they're expecting of you.
Right.
People are already doubting you'll come back. People are doubting that your team's going to go ahead and be, you know, able to win because you're not there and all of those things. So I think that it's not so much about y'all, but I think it's more about the fact that you have people who don't know, doctors who don't know your situation.
he was in the league for 17 years. This is the same doctor.
But he's not his doctor.
But this is the same doctor. If he was drafted by the San Diego Chargers, this would have been the same doctor that would give him the prognosis.
But it's not.
And the diagnosis.
But it's not his doctor.
But it's a doctor. The meniscus is a meniscus. An ACL is an ACL. Yeah. All those things. I hear you there.
Right.
But like the case study's there. How long does it take to recover from an Achilles? How long does it take to recover from an ACL? Some guys do, break the mold and come back a little sooner. Some guys take even longer. We know that.
Right.
But like,
Brandon, but you are always talking about the will of an athlete.
Yeah.
And you're always talking about the will of an athlete. And Jalen is somebody who doesn't care what the timetable is, doesn't care what this doctor says, what that doctor says. He talks about it all the time. The only person that he worries about is the man above, and he's going to figure out a way to get back to the Miami Dolphins quicker than everyone's anticipating him to do it and compete. So I don't know if it was necessarily that doctor thing. That just happened to be the doctor that was speaking on his situation that day. But he's probably very sensitive and protective.
Sensitive have no place in sports. And y'all know I don't do this. I'm sorry. I hear you, Ashley. But we even had this conversation offline yesterday. But it's the second time, Buddy has said something. Right?
Dr.
And
Chow?
Jalen.
Oh. Right?
Because I'm very protective of the platform. And I'm very strategic on how I talk about the athletes. Why? Because I Am Athlete, like the goal is for I Am Athlete be the destination where our guys come to us first. Mm-hmm. Right? So I'm very aware of that. But when you say shut up, I didn't let a couple things slide. What he's talking about is Asante Samuel's coming on the show, and he's like, I don't think he's great. And then you see my reaction. I'm like, yo, how can you say that, Asante Samuels? But then you get mad at me. So I didn't let a couple things slide, but y'all have no clue what's going on. Just talking to hear yourselves talk. Who? Who you talking to? Dr. Chow, or are you talking to me? Tag me, at me, so I know what we talking about. Last I checked, I serve the one and only God who dictates everything. I agree. We talked about that when Dr. Chow was on. When Dr. Chow said what he said, I said, well, we've seen this time and time again where athletes defy the odds and come back sooner, right? So I never really lean into this, but I'm sitting here watching this because I'm trying to be friend to all, but I don't think that's possible. You got, and I think we may talk about this later, you got Paul George going at it with Devin Booker, et cetera, et cetera. So you seeing that happen. So maybe this idea that I have that all athletes is going to be happy with the platform is not even a reality, right? Like maybe like we got to have some of these conversations. So yeah, the majority might rock with I Am Athlete, but there might be a few to be sensitive. But I'm sorry, like I don't, like bruh, like what are we supposed to do? Like y'all saw what I said. My response to that was, so how are we supposed to talk about the NFL's biggest stars? Right? Or should we not talk at all? Like you don't want nobody to say your name? Like come on, bro. I'm sorry. I never really do this, but you're not going to keep atting the platform at me.
Yeah.
At me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they think it's sweet or whatnot, but like, nah, bro, you're not going to keep doing that. You a king. I think you a dog. 6-time Pro Bowler. 3-time All-Pro. I don't know if you was Rookie of the Year, but you was up for Rookie of the Year, maybe all-rookie team. So many different Super Bowl champion. I like your swagger. I wouldn't say I love how you dress, but I really like how you dress. I would put you probably in my top 15 in football, maybe top 12. You know what I'm saying? But respect it. Like there's a fraternity. So, boom. Wanted to get that off my chest. Wanted to say that. It is what it is. But, we talking about journalism and, the right approach to this and that. But like, dog, like I thought it was a great conversation. We had his back. Everything we've said was been good. Everything I've ever said has been good. Don't get sensitive.
And, I want to add to that, of course, because, like, we said this offline. We went into it with optimism, right? We even prefaced the question with, hey, listen, we want good news, or at least I did, right? Because I'm a Dolphins fan. So, Jalen, let's get this ring. Of course, let's defy the odds. Like Brandon said, let's defy the odds. Let's get this ring. Fins up. You know what I'm saying?